Hi everyone, my name is Andrea and I work and study in the field of mental health. It's something that I'm very passionate about, and I'm also very passionate about the Catholic faith, and one of my favorite things is being able to mesh those two together. I think a lot of the times we see them as two separate things when in reality they work hand in hand. So I'm really excited to partner with Tecum to be able to just offer some encouragement and some hope during these trying times, because this pandemic has completely changed our lives. And I know I don't have to go into detail on how that's all happened, but maybe you're finding that you are struggling with knowing how to cope or knowing how to react to these things, and that's okay. All these events take a toll on our mood, on our thinking and our behavior, and that's what mental health is. I think we sometimes hear mental health and we think of it as more like a trend or just a buzzword right now, but it's a reality of our being. We're made body, mind, and soul, and we do a really great job of knowing how to take care of our bodies and how to take care of our souls, and oftentimes our minds are neglected and it's not seen as a priority when it should be. So it's important to take the time to see how you're doing with your mental health, to know how you're reacting to these things that are happening in our world right now. It's already showing that people are being affected negatively. Anxiety is on the rise right now, and maybe you're in that same boat. And that's okay. However you're feeling is okay, but it's important for you to know what you're feeling, to answer this simple but honest question of how are you feeling? We've been social distancing for a while, and some states are starting to open again, and I'm sure that there's been a full range of emotions to what you're feeling, but be honest with yourself and what you're feeling. Are you feeling burned out? Are you calm with everything that's happening? Are you stressed out about the future, disappointed at canceled events, longing for community, feeling inadequate with your productivity? Are you feeling that anxiety and depression, or maybe just in general that back and forth of hopefulness and hopelessness? Where are you at with that right now? And as you acknowledge what you're feeling, know that it's okay. It is okay, whatever it is that you are feeling right now. It's important to be aware of how you're coping with that. Once you know how you're feeling, what are you going to do with that? It's not helpful to sit in that, especially if we're feeling fear and we just sit in that fear. That is not helpful whatsoever. So once you're able to acknowledge where you're at, challenge yourself to know how you're going to react to that. How are you going to change that? And take a look at how you're taking care of yourself, because that's going to play a big role as to how your mental health is doing. What is day-to-day looking like? Is it healthy? Are there things that need improvement? At just like a basic level, how is your eating habits? Are you exercising? What's your sleep cycle like? Too much? Too little? Are you staying hydrated? Are you drinking a lot? These things affect us physically, but they also have a huge effect on us mentally. So it's important to be able to take a look at that and see where you're at these days with those things. Another aspect of our day that we should look at is our social media intake. We have more time on our hands, so are you consuming large amounts of that? And if so, maybe you should start scheduling breaks during the day to just get away from the news, get away from social media. That can be really harmful. It can be helpful to know maybe what's going on in the world, but in the end it can be super toxic and super harmful to your mental health. Just having an overload of all of that is not good. So be mindful of that. Maybe have a routine during your day. Strike a balance between routine and variety. It shouldn't be a strict schedule, because it's kind of hard to schedule anything right now. But at least having consistency, that's going to be super beneficial to you, especially once things start going back to normal. It won't be so much of a shock. Schedule time to relax and rejuvenate. Take the time that you need to just de-stress. It's super, super important to just take a moment to yourself Go outside, be in nature, bask in the sunlight, watch a movie, read a book, listen to podcasts or music, do some house projects or crafts. Do things that bring you joy. That's something that I think that we often neglect more than anything else. We get stuck in the busyness, or we get stuck in just slothfulness even, that we just don't pursue things that make us happy or pursue things that genuinely bring us joy. But find what that is and pursue that. Absolutely. Another important thing is making time for prayer. From a psychological sense, meditation and prayer is super helpful. But also from like a Catholic sense, it's so important for us to make time for prayer. And I know right now that might be really hard and it might look really different because we don't have access to the sacraments. We don't have access to adoration, but that doesn't mean that the Lord isn't going to meet us where we're at. That doesn't mean that we're on our own now. Maybe it's looking like doing different methods of prayer. Maybe it's learning about different aspects of the faith or learning about different saints. Whatever it is, definitely make time for prayer, whether it's 5 minutes or an hour or longer, whatever that might be for you. But definitely continue to pursue the Lord, even if it feels like he's not present right now. He wants to know where you're at. He wants to know what you're feeling, even though he already knows. But to have that conversation, really continue to pursue the Lord. And if you're finding that maybe you need more help, seek it out. It is so available right now. Explore the virtual and remote counseling options that are available right now. There are many Catholic therapists who are offering that. If that's not something that you're really feeling comfortable with, there are crisis text lines, there are hotlines you can call. And if you're just not at that point yet, or you don't feel comfortable doing that, reach out to those close to you by calling them or texting them, just asking for reassurance, or just having these conversations that might be difficult, or maybe you'll feel like a burden, but it's important to have community. That's something that we were made for and that we are currently without. So definitely find somebody that you can confide in, somebody that can walk this journey with you. It's also super important to just be present in the now. Don't get caught up with how things used to be or what the future will look like. Live in the present. You can look to the future with hope and hold on to the things that bring you joy, but also don't take this time for granted. There's so much we can do during this time. We're in the Easter season, which is so beautiful, to have journeyed through Lent and to now have this Easter season. And I feel like the readings at Mass have been so applicable to where we're at right now. It's awesome just to see how the Lord is so faithful and he meets us where we're at and he's continuing to lead us. So I hope that this has all been helpful. If you're needing more resources, please reach out and let us know. Definitely, we want to help you seek out the help that you need. Above all, know that you're being prayed for, and know that you're not alone. We are walking this journey with you, and we are praying for you. So may God bless you, and please let us know if there's anything else that we can do for you.